By the end of this video, you are going to have a better idea of why the skin on your body is becoming more rough, more dry, more crepey, more loose, especially as you're aging in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, and what is actually going to make a meaningful difference for you in terms of fixing it. So if we haven't met, hi, I'm Dr. Ray. I'm a board certified dermatologist. I have 15 years of experience treating aging faces and bodies, and I help women all over the world in their 40s and 50s to look 10 years younger without going under the knife. And before we start, if you want some practical, actionable advice that is going to help you age amazingly well in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, I have a free guide for you. It is the Dermatologist No Nonsense Guide to Aging Like a Pro. Comment guide below and I'll send you over the link to get it. Okay, so I have noticed an increasing number of women coming into my clinic with concerns around their body skin, their arms, their legs, sometimes their abdomen. The skin is becoming rough, it's dry, it's crepey, it's thin, and it's also often loose. Again, that can come with aging, but also with the eruption of the GLP-1 agonists that we have had recently. A lot of people are losing weight very quickly on Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Mounjaro, all of the above. And because of that, that loose skin problem is really becoming more and more common these days. And of course, the loose skin can come from that weight loss, but also from the very well documented loss of muscle mass that can come around from being on these medications, the GLP-1 agonists. And so there's kind of this trade-off where we are losing a lot of weight, we are feeling great in our bodies again, and at the same time, we are experiencing loose, saggy, crepey skin as a result. And it really is a confidence killer, isn't it? Whether you are experiencing those changes, the rough skin, the crepey skin, the loose skin, from rapid weight loss or just from normal aging, we're going to talk today about what you can actually do for it, both at home and then in the office. So here's the thing, weight loss aside, GLP-1s aside, as we age, those changes in our hormones, especially in perimenopause and menopause, when our estrogen is declining, that results in a loss of collagen and elastin, not just in your face, but everywhere in your body, in your arm skin, in your leg skin, in your abdomen skin, really everywhere. And also as we age, it does become a little bit harder to hold on to muscle mass, doesn't it? As our testosterone levels are also declining, coupled with a loss of barrier function in your skin that can come around from the changes in estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, where your skin barrier is not as functional, it's not holding on to hydration as well. All of that can lead to those changes that you're seeing, the rough skin, the crepey skin, the dry skin, and the loose skin. And when we're thinking of aging amazingly well, we really have to look beyond the face, right? And beyond the neck and chest as well. We really want to look everywhere. Okay, so what if you are seeing those changes in your skin, on your body? What can you actually do about it? Let's talk about that. I'm going to go in layers, okay? The first thing we're going to talk about is if you're experiencing rough, dry skin. And part of the reason, like I said, for that is that your skin is losing its barrier function, and the barrier is not functioning as well, so it's not holding in hydration as well. And as we age, our skin cell turnover slows down as well, so that can lead to accumulation of dead skin cells at the top of our skin, and it just feels rough and dry. So the first part of this is hydrating the skin effectively, and the second part is gentle exfoliation. So let's talk about both. When it comes to skin hydration, it actually starts in the shower. Believe it or not, it starts in the way you shower. So this is what I tell everybody that comes into my clinic who is experiencing dry skin for any reason. When you are showering, here are the things that are going to help you keep your skin hydrated and not overstrip it, not over dry it, not get rid of those natural oils that your skin is like desperately trying to hold on to. The first thing is trying not to use really hot water. I know this is a tough one for people, especially right now where I am. It's winter time. Maybe it is for you as well. And those hot showers feel so good. I'm not saying don't use warm water or even like more than warm water, but if it's really scalding hot water, that is going to dry you out so much. So really just try to tap it down a little bit, maybe just go over a little bit closer to warm than hot. And also, what kind of soap are you using in the shower? If you're using Ivory or Zest or Dial or any of those kind of classic soaps that we have around here in the US, those soaps really can be highly drying as well. So I really suggest going for a sensitive skin type of soap from one of the brands that are made for more eczema prone or sensitive skin. Not that you have eczema per se, but those brands and those soaps that are made by those brands are really formulated to help your skin hold on to moisture, because that's what eczema skin needs to do as well. So things like Cetaphil, CeraVe, Eucerin, even Aveeno. Dove soap is great too. The Dove bar soap is fine, or the Dove body wash. Those are all tend to be a little bit less drying than the other kind of classic bar soaps or body washes. And when you're using those, you really don't want to scrub your skin too hard because again, you are scrubbing away those natural oils. And it sounds counterintuitive. Like, don't you want to just scrub off those rough skin cells at the top and that rough skin? Don't you want to get it off by scrubbing it off? No, because in essence, you are actually working against yourself long term. You are going to be stripping your skin of its natural oils and also making your skin barrier less robust. So what I suggest is that in most areas, you use your hand and the soap or the body wash to cleanse, especially in those drier areas like your arms or your legs. If you need to, for whatever reason, use a soft washcloth in those areas, it's fine. Please don't scrub your skin. Don't use a loofah. And even those like wireproofy sponge things can be a little bit harsh on the skin when your skin is already rough and dry. So basically the point is as gentle as possible. And then you really don't want to spend too much time in the shower, okay? So if you can limit it to 10 minutes, that's best. Again, it's going to be less drying to your skin. And I know some of us love our long showers, and I totally understand that. This is just one other tip that you can take if it works into your life to, again, shorten your showers a bit so you're not exposed to that water for as long, and that'll help not strip your skin as much, okay? And then when you get out of the shower, you pat dry, and then right away while your skin is still damp, I want you to put on a lotion containing lactic acid in it. I will link some good ones in the description for this video below. So what does lactic acid do? Lactic acid has two purposes here. First is that it's a humectant, so it does help draw water into the skin, and it's really nice to put it on when your skin is still kind of damp because it'll kind of draw that water that's on the surface of the skin into the deeper layers of the skin. Second of all, it is a very gentle exfoliant, and again, when we're trying to get rid of some of that excess rough skin at the top layer, very gentle exfoliation is the key. You don't want to exfoliate by scrubbing your skin, like I said, because when you do that, you're, yes, of course, going to get rid of some of those dead skin cells, but you're also going to get rid of your really essential oils that your skin is wanting to hold on to. And also you're going to be potentially irritating or damaging your skin barrier. So that you don't want to do. Gentle exfoliation is the way to go. And lactic acid is one way to do that. So you put on a lactic acid lotion in the areas that you need it, whether it's the arms, legs, anywhere you have rough, dry skin. And then you follow that up with a nice, thick, hydrating cream or ointment. So these are the things that come in the tubs usually, like Cetaphil moisturizing cream. I love Vanicream myself. CeraVe cream, those are great. And you even could use something like Aquaphor or plain old petroleum jelly, Vaseline if you're really dry. Those really help seal in the moisture. They create a protective outer layer to help keep that hydration in. Aquaphor actually makes a spray that I like for larger areas of the body, like arms and legs and abdomen. It's a little bit easier to use than the thick tub where you're like trying to spread it all over. So I can link that in the description below as well. So that's how you're going to seal in all the moisture, okay? So those are the steps for helping with that dry skin. And then the last thing you can do to help with some of that rough skin and to exfoliate in a gentle way is maybe 2 or 3 times a week to work in a glycolic acid lotion. And again, I'll link some good ones in the description for this video below that are good for the body. And you just have to be a little bit careful with glycolic acid. It is an exfoliating agent. If you overdo it, it can definitely irritate the skin. So I would definitely just start it once or twice a week, and then you can work it up to a few times a week. Okay, so what about crepey skin? This is something where that glycolic acid can help a bit with as well. Crepey skin is typically caused by not only just thin skin, that is a major component of it, but it's also that the support underneath the skin, like in the arms, for example, is decreasing. And so typically that's going to be from a loss of muscle mass underneath the skin. So in terms of that top layer, that skin layer, and trying to build up that thickness of the skin, glycolic acid can help slightly with that. But what's really going to help more is a retinoid, a body retinoid like Retinol. And so again, I'll link some good body ones in the description below. But yes, retinoids are the GOAT of building collagen at home, more effective than even the glycolic acid. So I would work that in as well. Again, with retinols on the body, you want to start slowly because they can irritate the skin a bit. If you overdo it, they can damage your skin barrier, cause more dryness, more irritation. So you really want to go low and slow when it comes to retinol on the body. and I would work it in again, no more than once or twice a week, and then you can work it up slowly from there. And then you can alternate the retinol days with your glycolic acid days. And every day you're going to do the moisturizing, you're going to do the lactic acid, but the glycolic and retinol, you can alternate those days. And both of those things, both glycolic and retinoids or retinol, can make your skin a little more sensitive to sun, where you can sunburn more easily. So you really do want to take really good protective measures when it comes to sun. And that brings me to the other thing that really helps in terms of slowing down crepey skin, which is strict sun protection. And the sun is one of the main environmental factors that breaks down the collagen in our skin. And yeah, oftentimes we're protecting our face really well, maybe even our neck from the sun, but we kind of forget about our forearms, our hands. If we're wearing shorts or skirt or a dress, we forget about putting the sunscreen on our legs, right? So those are areas that, especially now when we're in our 40s or 50s and all of these changes are happening so quickly, that sun is really going to accelerate that aging skin. And that is one of the main things you can do to help slow that down. And if you love having a tan, spray tans or self tanners at home are the way to go. Okay, sunless tanning is it right now. Tanning with the sun is out. And then when it comes to crepey skin, remember I said losing some of that support underneath the skin can contribute to that. So this is where muscle mass helps. This is where strength training helps. So building some of that muscle underneath the skin can help support the overlying skin. So think of it like a mattress with a sheet on top. So the mattress is your muscle mass underneath and the sheet is the skin. So if that mattress is shrinking, if your muscle mass is shrinking in your arms, your legs, etc., then that sheet is not shrinking and the sheet kind of gets like loose, right? It gets a little bit wrinkly, and that's what happens in your skin as well. When your skin has that support, it is not as loose and wrinkly. And so when you're building muscle mass and doing strength training, which is important anyway, just for your overall health in your 40s and up, and especially in those perimenopause and menopause years, then you are going to be helping your overlying skin texture as well. And also that brings me to loose skin, right? So loose skin is like a whole other ball game. Yes, building up some muscle mass is going to help with that, and I would definitely start with that. However, the home measures like the glycolic and the retinol and hydrating and all of that, it's not really going to help with loose skin, okay? So when we're talking about truly loose skin, then we need to go into the office to really see any meaningful change. And then, depending on how loose it is, what the degree of severity is, you have the option of doing non-surgical treatments, or in some cases, surgery is the only thing that is going to make any meaningful difference, and it is the way to go. Okay, so if you have like mild to moderate looseness in areas like the knees or the elbows or even the forearms, upper arms, thighs, abdomen, then you do have the option of doing a couple things. First is we can use biostimulators like Sculptra or Remedies that we dilute a lot more than we would normally if we're using it in their normal fashion that they're FDA approved for, like for building volume in the face. They can be used off label, meaning they're not FDA approved for this purpose. They can help in building some of that collagen to a greater degree than what you can get at home with products, so that the skin is a little bit more taut. And here's the thing that I want to tell you about that. You really have to go in expecting that you're going to be using multiple vials or multiple syringes. Sculptra comes in vials, Radius in syringes, multiple vials or syringes over multiple sessions. And so you are going to be putting in a lot of money. And after the first session, you may not see much difference. And sometimes people lose motivation after that and they don't go back, but they've already spent a couple $1,000s. So if you go in, I would really go in committed to doing the full treatment, whatever is recommended to you, whether it's 3 sessions, 4 sessions, 2 sessions, and the number of vials or syringes that is recommended. Go in committed to do that. And if you do that, then yes, you can see some meaningful change when you have some mild to moderate looseness, okay? Now, you can also couple that. You know, I'm a big fan of combining treatments, right? I think that you always get the best result when you're combining treatments rather than relying on one treatment or one treatment type to do all the work. So you can combine that with a energy-based tightening device like a radiofrequency or radiofrequency microneedling or an ultrasound-based device. Those energy-based tightening devices, again, can help collagen and elastin stimulation to a degree that you can't get at home. And they can be a good complement to the injectables like Sculptra and Radius. Now, some people opt to just start with the energy-based devices, and depending on what degree of severity it is, again, and what the particular provider that you're going to has at their disposal, then you might start with just an energy-based device and then work in the injectable. So there's no one right path here, and there's a little bit of variability in what will be best for each person. But again, even with the energy-based devices, you have to go in expecting that the results may be subtle, they may be mild, you may need more than one treatment, and that with all of this, maintenance is required, right? So the differences you're going to see aren't going to be maintained forever. You're going to have to repeat treatment, probably depending on what you're doing, every year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. Now, when it comes to loose skin, if it's fairly excessive, if you're someone who has lost a lot of weight, especially whether with the GLP-1s or not, in those cases, I would tell you that it's probably the best thing to go into a plastic surgeon's office, get a consultation, because surgery is probably going to be your best bet to have a meaningful result when we're talking about these larger body areas like the arms and the legs and the abdomen, where the amount of product and the number of treatments with those energy-based devices is going to be so much, and the difference might be not as good as you would expect with all that money that you're putting into it, and you're probably better off getting surgery if that's something that you're open to. Okay, so it really does depend on the degree of severity of the looseness in terms of whether those non-surgical options can actually have a meaningful effect. And again, you have to go in knowing you're going to be spending a good amount of money on those, and maybe that's okay, and that's fine if that's what is meant for you, right? If that is your goal and you want to get at least some noticeable improvement and you're willing to put in the money, then awesome, and you want to avoid surgery, great. But it's all about knowing what your options are and what you can expect from the treatments. And the other thing that I didn't mention here, but that I mention in almost all of my videos, is how a healthy lifestyle can help you age amazingly well. And that doesn't, again, it doesn't just go for your face, it doesn't just go for your neck or your chest, it goes for your entire body, because obviously you have skin everywhere and it all ages the same way. Sure, the areas that are more sun exposed have that more accelerated aging from exposure to the UV radiation and the visible radiation from the sun, but in general, your skin all over is aging. And so when you're living a healthier lifestyle, and again, I can definitely get into more videos in terms of getting into the nitty-gritty of what that means, but the big five are optimizing sleep, managing stress, optimizing your nutrition, movement, including that weight training that we talked about, and gut health. And when you're looking at these factors in your lifestyle and making tiny tweaks every day to improve those, you will see your body ages better as well. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And again, if you want some actionable tips on how to age amazingly well in your 40s and beyond, comment guide. I will get you my Dermatologist no nonsense guide to aging like a pro. And inside you're going to get, first of all, ways in which to refine your skincare routine while also making it more effective. What could be better than that? And then some easy lifestyle and habit shifts that help you to lower your cortisol levels, to lower that systemic inflammation that leads to accelerated aging in our skin all over our body. And then also how and when to work in in-office treatments. What is the optimal timing for those? What benefits are you going to get from them? I'll give you some quick tips on that. So comment guide for that, and we will chat next week.